Hi, Mrs. Borst. So I did my state report on Michigan, and here we go. So Michigan has a continental climate. The southern and central parts of the lower peninsula have hot summers, but cold winters. Not super cold, just kind of probably colder than Tehachapi, but just regular cold winters. The northern part of the lower peninsula have short, warm summers, but very long and very, very cold winters. The population of Michigan, as of July 1st, 2012, was 9,883,360 people. That's a lot of people for Michigan. So I think the census is coming up pretty soon here, so I don't know if we should see an increase or decrease. Probably most likely an increase in that. Most people of this population are white, but surprisingly enough, the ancestry is from from Germans. So the white people, they come from Germany. Michigan has multiple state symbols, including the state bird, the state fish, the state flower, the state mammal, the state tree, and the state reptile, which I have all listed, and we'll name off for you. The state bird is the American robin. The state fish is the brook trout. The state flower is the apple blossom. The state mammal is the wolverine. The state tree is the eastern white pine. And the state reptile is the painted turtle. The trade in Michigan is very extensive, I would say, all the way from food, auto, and auto parts, up to mining, all sorts of good stuff up there. So the trade has an assortment of good food, like I said. There's a lot of trade going on in pelts and hunting up in Michigan right now. Also, they mine salt, cement, and sand, among other minerals and chemicals up there. The biggest trade in Michigan is the automobile trade. There's so much up there. They manufacture cars, but not only that, they manufacture the parts for cars, pistons, engines, the seats that go in, the windows, everything you can imagine for cars, they manufacture up there. Most of the manufacturing for cars in the United States is done in Michigan. The French came to Michigan, so the Michigan practices a French culture most of the time. The religion in Michigan is 79% of Michigan is Christian, and under that there's multiple other religions. Michigan is famous for a lot of their food. It has numerous areas of food that it's famous for, including its cherries, blackberries, apples, and its Verner's Brand Ginger Ale. The Verner's Brand Ginger Ale is very famous from Michigan. That's one of the name brand things they have there, as well as fudge and saltwater taffy. Now, one thing you're going to find surprising is baby food. Baby food is huge in Michigan, and I'll tell you the reason for that is because Gerber, the baby food that you see in all the stores in the little jars and mashed up carrots and all that, their headquarters is actually in Michigan. So that's why baby food is originated in Michigan. There's many sports in Michigan. There's the less known Tigers baseball team, and a little less known Lions football team. I know there's a lot of Lions fans, but you don't hear about those as much as the Pistons basketball team and the Red Wings hockey team. Gordie Howe made the Red Wings hockey team a big thing in Michigan, and it's still a big thing. Gordie Howe was an amazing hockey player, one of the best hockey players I've ever seen, including the rest of the United States and the world, until Wayne Gretzky came along. The history, there's the Algonquinian people who settled here. In the 17th century, the French established here, and the War of 1812 surrounded Michigan. Then we had the Riven Raisin Massacre. In 1825, the Erie Canal opened. It brought in tons of settlers when that Erie Canal opened, because that opened a lot of trade, more trade than was before 1825. More goods coming through, more people able to be transported in. And then in 1927, the school bombing, it's called the Bath School Disaster. People were killed and hurt in that. It was a very serious thing. Then up to now, it has become the largest auto producing state in the whole world. All of America, everywhere, it's the largest. It's really big up there, I guess. So, fun facts for you. Michigan has a floating post office, which is what I wanted to show you right here. That's Michigan's floating post office. It will go to different ships, cruise ships, military ships, all these ships that you cannot just send your mail off to, but it'll float to those, get its mail, and bring it to a normal post office and mail it off for you, which I find pretty cool. As we call ourselves Californians, the Michigan, well, I'm just going to say Michiganders, but that almost gave it away. So, they call themselves Michiganders. Also, the less known Michiganians, that's what they refer to themselves up there too, but most of the time it's Michigander. In Michigan, there's 150 lighthouses. This is the most of any U.S. state. There are a ton of lighthouses up there. Out of all the U.S. states, they have the most. They win, hands down. So, that's what I learned about Michigan in this whole report here. So, that's my report. Thank you.